Deputy President Willam Samoei Ruto wants the promoters to be held personally liable for misuse and wastage of public funds in promoting the BBI. Now, if I was to respond to that in one sentence, I would say the following. People who live in glass houses should stay very far away from stones, let alone picking up the stones. It's dangerous if you're staying in a glass house. I'll elaborate as we proceed. Now, personally, I don't like mysteries. And there's a mystery right now unfolding on our local political scene. It seems that the gloves are off between the president and his deputy. Months to a general election. 100 and something days to a general election. Now, don't you find that strange? Because last time I checked, President Uhuru Kenyatta is not a candidate in the 2022 presidential elections. So what is all this about? Now, I laid this all very bare and clear in my latest Weekly Intelligence Briefings, number 75. So make sure you catch it. Now, in case you're not yet a member to my Weekly Intelligence Briefings, there are actually two ways you can become a member right away. Take advantage of two very precious special offers. You can purchase my classic ebook, Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency. And when you do that, I will give you 6 months free membership to my Weekly Intelligence Briefings. Or you can purchase my very interesting, very relevant book right now, titled Let the Blood Flow. This is about the Kshs. And it talks about them in a very deep way. Mentions names, especially of the person most responsible, who has never been mentioned anywhere. That led to that very unfortunate dark chapter in Kenyan history. And of course, if you purchase this ebook, I will give you 1 year's membership free to my Weekly Intelligence Briefings. So choose which one you want to take. Right. I will now proceed, and I will try my best to give you as much information, because I know not everybody can take advantage of this offer. Indeed, the vast majority of us may not be able to see that WIB. So I'll try my best to give you as much as I can here on the open channel. Now, to start with, I am not talking about the ICC cases. No. So put that out of your mind. It is very clear, especially from the very aggressive approach, recent approach of the Deputy President, that there's something the public is not being told. That should be very clear. Because the Deputy President is very aggressively going for the jugular of the President, and vice versa. Indeed, one can't help but have a feeling that somebody is running out of time. So what is this issue? Or what is this thing happening in the background, which the public does not know about, that seems to be speeding up this political duel? Now, just to give you a few clues. In case you didn't know, the dossier on the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya started being put together, wait for this one, in the year 2016. Now, if we're talking about resources, because the Deputy President has brought up public resources as a matter of discussion. If we are talking about public resources, huge public resources have been spent, especially in foreign countries, investigating certain transactions in government. Transactions that were not really above board, and gathering evidence to prove this. And so the question must be asked, what has happened to all that information? What has happened to the dossier? Okay? Now let me give you another clue. The Deputy President is a very smart man. He's clever. He's crafty. Make no mistake about that. Whether you like him or you hate him, we cannot deny the fact that the Deputy President is an extremely smart fellow. And if you look carefully at his strategy has been to ensure that if any case goes to our courts, he will have some sort of edge or advantage. If any case goes before our courts. If anybody doubts this, then just take a quick look at what happened to the BBI, the High Court and at the Court of Appeal. Now, this happens all over the world. But a judge can read out a judgment, and you hear from the tone they're reading out the judgment that they're very much against this thing they're judging against. Let me give you a quick example. During colonial days, when Mzungu judges would read judgment over some poor African, black African, who had done something, maybe stolen a chicken, maybe trumped up charges, they would read their judgment with a lot of venom. It was very clear from the tone of voice that this was not an impartial judge. Now I want you to go back to the reading of the judgments on BBI and take note of at least 3 judges and how they read the judgment, and then get back to me. Now remember, I said that the Deputy President is a very crafty man. How do you influence the judiciary? It is possible to influence the judiciary politically. I'm not talking about dishing out money, although we can't rule out that. And in this case, all you have to do is enhance the narrative amongst the judiciary that their big enemy is the executive. Then, even if you are a previous member of that executive, you remove yourself. And then you start talking like you're on the outside. You're on the side of the judiciary against the evil executive. Works magic. It's all about psychology. It works magic. You find that suddenly the judiciary, any ruling against the executive, they will read it like a Mzungu judge in colonial Kenya reading a judgment over some poor African who stole a chicken from somebody who happens to be their neighbor. I'm sure you get my drift. Now, you need to understand that somebody trying to defend themselves from an event they see in the future, or let us put it this way, somebody trying to defend themselves from a possible attack at a certain front that they think will come in the future, that they suspect will come in the future, will usually make all the arrangements focusing on that area where they think the attack will come. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. And that one is a huge hint, okay, to understand our current politics. Now, let us talk the truth. Tutige kuhenania. Tutige kuhenania. Let us stop lying to each other. We have never in the history of Kenya had a presidential candidate like Willam Samoei Ruto. What do I mean? Mwai Kibaki, Mwalimu Dida, Musalia Mudavadi, etc., etc. We have never in the history of our country had a presidential candidate who has appeared before a court of law in Kenya charged with criminal offenses. It doesn't matter whether later they were found guilty or not. We have never had that. We are now having this for the first time. We've never in the history of our country had a presidential candidate who was found culpable by a court of law, which found it is true that he grabbed land from another Kenyan, and ordered him to pay that other Kenyan X amount of cash. We have never ever had a presidential candidate like that one. So this is a first for Kenya. We need to appreciate that. We need to take note of that. Folks, what I am saying is that it seems that this particular presidential election is much more than a presidential election for some candidates. Now let me just give you a quick example. In 2013, there were some people who were vying for the presidency and the deputy presidency, who in their minds were telling themselves, if I lose my bid for the deputy presidency, I am done. There's no way I can win this case unless I win this election. Are we together? So folks, I have reason to believe that history is repeating itself, and that a certain candidate cannot afford to lose the upcoming elections. Just put together everything I've said on our show today, and you will understand clearly what I'm saying. And it neatly explains the desperation of attacks that is growing every day. Where people are no longer attacking only the president, but they're also attacking his mother. Oh boy. Now, in my view about the BBI and people wasting money, I'll only give you one example. If in trying to get the 1 shilling, 1 vote policy, which the Mount Kenya region wants, which the Mount Kenya region feels is the only way things can be fair, if trying to get that to be done for the people of Kenya was wasting public resources, then those who wasted public resources, allegedly, on the BBI, are guilty. But then we have a very bizarre situation here, where the very people who would have benefited the most from the BBI are actually supporting those who are fighting and have always been fighting against the BBI. But then, my friends, that's politics. Politics is all about positioning yourself and working the emotions of the voters in your favor. That's really what it is. So maybe it is not so bizarre. Maybe we can say it's normal in politics. But if I was from central Kenya, if I was from the Mount Kenya region, I would feel extremely stupid at that realization. I would feel extremely lost and having no idea what I'm doing, and not knowing my left hand from my right hand at that very realization. Until next time, this is Kshs, Kumekucha. When God gives you a gift, it is not for you. It is not for your family. It is for other people. You're supposed to use your gift to change the lives of other people. And for those who seek happiness in this life, nothing will make a human being happier. Trust me, nothing on this world will make a human being happier than the knowledge that they have changed one person's life forever. Now, I've been very fortunate to have been very gifted by God. And not only gifted, but also trained in the renowned University of Hard Knocks. Yeah? The harsh university of this life. And I feel very privileged and very humbled, to get to know all the time that I've changed many people's lives forever. I even know a couple of people who no longer come to this channel, not because they hate me, but because they are busy these days. So busy that they hardly have time, but they've regained their dignity. They're putting food on the table. They're doing a lot of things, amazing things. And all thanks to some books I produced, which you can see on your screens right now, that changed their lives. Not only did they get that idea that changed everything, but they also got the skills to be able to sell without looking like they're selling. Because it's one thing to get a brilliant idea to make money, but it's quite another to do it practically and get people interested and get somebody to actually pay you real money for what it is you're offering. It is also one thing to have a business that is struggling, a business operating way below its true potential. That's one thing. And it's quite another to turn around that business so that it prospers. You have plenty of customers. My sincere hope in making this short clip is to influence and change the lives of many more Kenyans, because that is my mandate. That is what I was born to do. And I felt that this is the perfect time. Many people have been hit very hard by the COVID manenos. Life has become very difficult, almost unbearable for some. Some businesses that were making serious money before Corona are now struggling. Others have shut down completely. There is no better time for these two amazing titles have produced. 101 brilliant business ideas or money-making ideas that will thrive in the country called Kenya and well beyond, almost anywhere in the world. And how to get plenty of customers immediately, very quickly. For only $25, you can have both ebooks, life-changing ebooks. And for only $15, you can have only the ideas. Now you can see details on your screens right now. You will find full payment details in the description area below this video on YouTube. Go for it. I highly recommend it. And I have a suggestion. Maybe you're okay. You're doing okay. I would suggest that you get it for a friend. You get the books for a friend, a relative, or somebody you know who is having it very difficult right now. It'll help them. It'll change their lives. And you'll have helped me to touch one more life, to change one more life, because that is my mission. Asante sana.